Hi, I'm Shreya,
I'm Lilia.
and we're here representing Project Vox, which is all about conducting philosophical research on the margins. Okay, if you recognize someone on the screen, raise your hand. Okay, people like to think. So, there's two distinct characteristics about everyone on this screen that are similar. One, everyone on this screen is male, and two, everyone on this screen comes from the European Western philosophical canon. This is what we teach and learn about in our philosophy classes, but it's not the truth. And so Project Vox exists to change that. Everyone here has probably heard of Rene Descartes, but most of you have probably not heard of Emily du Châtelet, who was one of his strongest influences intellectually, as well as with all of Rene Descartes' peers. It's women like Emily du Châtelet, which is why Project Vox exists, to uncover the stories of women and marginalized philosophers who were written out of the historical canon.
Let's look a little bit closer at how this all began. In 2014, Andrew Janiak and Liz Milowitz started a project team that would make a website to incorporate non canonical philosophers into research and teaching. The Project Vox website launched in March 2015, and since then it's served as a publishing platform for detailed philosopher entries, blog posts, and teaching materials. Our hope is that the Project Vox website will serve as a resource for an international network of scholars who are trying to teach from a non canonical tradition. Each year, the Project Vox team works together to further this mission through vast connections.
So, what does this all look like in our completely digital project? We focus on a couple different things on our website. First, we produce scholarly, peer reviewed entries that focus on these women and marginalized philosophers' lives. Modeled off of the Stanford Encyclopedia, we've produced 11 to date. An example here is given of Emily du Châtelet. Second, we also work to create a hub for teaching materials, because it's not enough to tell these women's stories, they also need to be incorporated into our teaching and what we learn about philosophy. Third, we also offer an opportunity for a blog on our website for philosophers, undergraduate students, team members to write about what they're learning and what they're researching.
Okay, that's all great, but how does an educator actually incorporate non canonical philosophers into their syllabi? We have an answer for that. Project Vox has created a philosopher pairings page where an educator could look and see, well, I could incorporate Emily du Châtelet into my syllabus that already incorporates Newton. And the goal of this is to make it easy for educators to incorporate non canonical philosophers into their existing syllabi.
And Project Vox isn't just a website that's existed for a while. It's reached 142,719 unique users and counting to date. These users come from over 180 countries, the top 10 of which are pictured here. But the largest impact comes when you take our collage from the beginning and you paste all of the women philosophers that Project Vox has researched over the past 11 years. Now we see a better and more accurate picture of what philosophy and its canon actually looks like. Even so, Project Vox recognizes that the majority of the people on this screen are still white, and the margins have much more exploring to do, and we hope to eventually get there. Every year we've been producing a philosopher entry, and so what's next?
Looking ahead, this spring, we've just released our newest entry on Nicia Floresta, a prominent 19th century feminist and critic of colonialism. Next spring, we'll be releasing an entry on Germaine de Stael, one of Napoleon's fiercest intellectual opponents. Our work will continue to paint a richer picture of what the philosophical canon is.
Thank you.